Do you know despite best efforts and intentions, many projects miss their targets? As per the study conducted by the McKinsey Group, 98% of EPC projects incur cost overruns or delays. 1 out of 3 projects means 34% of projects have no baseline. Surprising, isn't it? So, why projects are delayed or budget overrun? And more importantly, what is the difference between a failed project and one that is delivered on time and within budget? The answer lies in good project controls. If you are struggling to find balance between project cost and schedule of well-planned project, then chances are that you may be ignoring project controls activities on your project. Or even you might not have invested sufficient time and money at the beginning of a project to develop a robust project controls plan. But don't worry, in this video, we will cover the concepts of project control and teach you 7 simple and powerful techniques to control your project effectively. Hi, my name is Vijay and I am the founder of ProjectsMind.com, and today we would learn about project control. So, what exactly project control is? Well, if something bad is going to happen on a project, it's most likely going to impact project cost or schedule. Project managers are well aware of this fact and spend much of their time planning in order to avoid such negative risks and their potential impact. However, project manager has a bigger role to play in the overall management of project activities and ensure completion of work. That is why a dedicated function project control is deployed for continuous identification and monitoring of such risks like cost and schedule slippage. Like the name implies, project controls are about controlling the project and safeguard from exceeding budgets and timelines. Project control is a process that encompasses the resources, procedures, and tools for monitoring and controlling all phases of the project lifecycle. This includes estimation, cost, and schedule management, risk management, change management, earned value progressing, forecasting, and many more. Project control is iterative processes for measuring project status, forecasting the likely outcomes based on project data measurements, and improving project performance. The project control plan should outline the people, project controls processes, and the tools required to integrate the core elements of your project. So, talking about the formal definition of project control, it is similar across various project management bodies. According to the project management body of knowledge, project control consists of data collection management and analysis processes used to predict and constructively influence the time and cost results of a project or program by communicating information in formats that support effective management and decision-making. As per the Association for Project Management, project control is defined as the application of processes to measure project performance against the project plan, to enable variances to be identified and corrected so that project objectives are achieved. So, basically project control is a set of people skills, processes, and tools that are used together to help project managers have the right information, at the right time, to make the right decision. Project control is all about controlling the 3 flows of project. That is flow of resources, flow of information, and financial flow. It ensures projects overcome common obstacles like inaccurate forecasting, manual data input or storage errors, improper resource allocation, misplaced budget, or schedule optimism, lacking enough data to make informed decisions. But, doesn't it sound like regular project management activities? Is project management and project controls are same thing? And if not, then what's the difference between project controls and project management? These questions might be echoing in your mind, right? Well, in simple terms, project management is not project control. There are several differences between project management and project control activities. However, there are mainly 3 key differences. First, project control is a subset of the project management process with the primary focus of monitoring and control the project's cost and schedule. Second, the project manager owns the project and directs the work of the project team while the project controller advises the project manager and team for possible cost and schedule risks and mitigation plans. And third is the project controller provides the project's key performance indicators and develop performance report, and the project manager utilizes the provided information to make project decisions. While a project manager deals with many parameters, such as client, quality, scope, approvals, the project control focus on the project cost and schedule and continuously monitor for any associated risk. The strengths of project controls lie in their data-focused approach and attention to detail. A project manager does not simply want to know that there is a cost overrun, but rather wants to know the root causes, the precise numbers, and how it can be fixed. This is where project controls help with efficiency in getting answers quickly, and visibility into the performance that can reduce project costs. Simply put together, project management ensures the successful completion of a number of different processes, while project control makes sure those processes actually head in the right direction. It ensures projects are done correctly, and even the right projects are chosen in the first place. So, if project management is not project control, then where does the project controller fits in the project management team? Project control function works in a matrix environment. Usually, project controllers report to more than one manager. These reporting lines can take the form of what is known as a solid line, or a dotted line reporting relationship, where project controller reports to project manager as well as the project director or sponsor. Depending on the size and complexity of the project, a project controller could be reporting to a project manager on a specific project, or an entire portfolio of projects. The project control function is critical to the success of any project, as it alerts project stakeholders to potential trouble areas at every phase of project, and allows them for course correction. It monitors and controls the various factors that impact cost and schedule. For project controls to succeed, they cannot be applied in bits and pieces. Rather, project controls activities must run through the complete project lifecycle, from the initiation phase until project closure. For this reason, project controls professionals should be engaged at the early stages. This ensures that the project control plan is developed in time, and helps project transition into the delivery phase. This plan will then guide the project management team. This enables decision makers to positively influence the time, cost, and quality activities of your project. So, what are the activities come under the umbrella of project controls? Project control is applied to many aspects of project management. However, the main areas are planning, scheduling, risk management, cost management, scope and change management, earned value management, performance management, stakeholder management, and reporting. Project controlling process group monitor and control project work, perform integrated change control, validate scope to ensure the deliverable is acceptable, and obtain formal acceptance. It controls scope, schedule, and costs. Project control makes sure the project delivers what is defined, as per the scope, and meets acceptance criteria. Also, project control ensures that the project deliverables are properly tested and validated, and control communication. Project control manages risks, acts on current risks, identifies new risks, and abandons outdated risks. It continuously tracks the project progress and develops project forecasts. Project control keep a tab on procurement activities and stakeholder engagement. There are tons of benefits from project control. However, you may wonder that, what are the specific advantages of having a dedicated project control function? Well, some of things may be obvious to you, but let me tell you in a little bit more details. The project control function is the backbone of project management. Project controls assist in defining key performance indicators, measuring performance outcomes, and establishing measures of success. Project controls provide a meticulous approach to managing project risks. It provides an early warning of schedule and cost risks. It proactively identifies and monitors risks, and developing contingency plans to mitigate issues. It also helps prevent some risks from happening in the future. With the help of project control, the total costs of a project can be kept low by effective decision-making based. Project control provides increased predictability for costs, schedule, and better insights into the financial health of a project. Once project plan is finalized, it is the role of the project controls professional to collect and analyze the project performance data for identification of any possible cost or schedule risk. With consistent high-quality data and reports flowing out of each function, management can begin to understand how the project is performing and feel comfortable about the basis of their decisions on sound information. This leads to decisive actions and implement corrective measures to improve its time, cost, and quality performance. As projects continue to grow and become more complex, it is important to understand what factors impacting the project's planned progress and what is the extent of the impact. When the time comes to take decisive actions to correct deviations, you will have the confidence necessary to base your decisions on this data. This will lead to a more successful project aimed at achieving its time, cost, and quality objectives. Project controls help to guide the project manager on making informed and effective decisions. Without proper project control, most projects have either inconsistent and/or inaccurate flow of information. Remember, project control aim is to support projects, not become an obstacle. It is not something like the 10 Commandments written on the wall which cannot be changed. Its main aim is to utilize the project control techniques to support the team and meet the project goals. So, what are the project control techniques? Well, there are several techniques for control of project. However, the following 7 techniques can be easily implemented on the project. These are simple yet very powerful techniques to manage and control a project. First one is work breakdown structure. It is always advisable to break the scope of work into smaller packages of tasks for easy verification of progress. From project control perspective, it is much easier to detect a delayed or troubled task by looking at WBS. Also, it helps in the easy identification of tasks that are impacted due to the delays. The early identification of issues ensures the timely resolution of issues with minimum cost. Second one is project baselines. A fundamental control principle is to first establish a cost and schedule baseline. Then, measure and report the project performance against the baseline and maintain it. Third one is project status meetings. Consistent and regular status meetings help to keep everyone accountable and held responsible for work assignments. Also, status meetings are powerful tools for improving project communications and managing expectations. Fourth one is project gate reviews. Gate reviews are a key technique for ensuring quality and managing expectations on project deliverables. Basically, it provides an opportunity for the team to review the required deliverables and make sure the desired result achieved before moving to the next phase of the project. Fifth is tracking milestones. The use of predefined milestones and checkpoints ensures better project control and early warning of risks. These markers are important points to stop, report progress, review key issues, confirm that everyone is still on board, and verify that the project should proceed with its mission. Next one is formal sign-offs. Formal sign-offs are a key aspect of change control management. The formal record of review and acceptance of given deliverable helps to keep expectations aligned and minimize potential disputes. Most importantly, the formal sign-off acts as an extra incentive to appropriate stakeholders for actively engage in the work of the project, and thereby getting feeling of satisfaction. The last one is V method. The V method is a term used for a common validation and verification approach. This ensures that there is validation and verification step for all deliverable and interim deliverables are achieved. The left side of V notes lists each targeted deliverable, and the right side of the V lists the verification method to be used for each deliverable. However, with all these techniques, it is more important to put the correct amount of emphasis on project control. This could be the difference between the success and failure of any project. Behind every successful or unsuccessful project, there's are the unsung heroes, the project team, who kept everything and everyone on track to ensure the achievement of the desired result. At projectsmind.com, we support project people and all the amazing work they do every day. Our objective is to provide access to world-class project management education for anyone, anywhere in the world for free. The concepts you will learn are applicable to all projects from Fortune 500 firms to all the way to your own home. If you'd like to know more about project management, visit us at projectsmind.com. And don't forget to hit subscribe button below to see our latest videos when they come out. See you later, and bye for now.